from Think Hallmark Real Estate, and you might think I'm on a date at a soda fountain, but I'm not. I'm at my insurance man's place of business, Jeff Bergum from Advantage Cornerstone in New London, Wisconsin. In January, we are featuring Jeff for Think Hallmark, and I want to ask Jeff a few questions about insurance.
Sure.
So let's talk about house insurance. We all know in New London, last year we had a hailstorm.
Yeah, April, yeah.
And then a tornado.
In June.
Yeah, yes. So I bought a house. It's 1960, a ranch, and I paid $100,000.
Sure.
So I'm coming to you and asking you, how much should I insure that house for, Jeff?
Well, what you paid for it, what assessed value are, does not mean anything to me. I'm worried about replacement costs.
Okay.
I'm worried about coming back out tomorrow and putting you back whole together. So your purchase price, your assessed value will never have anything to do with replacement costs in your insurance.
So then you evaluate the replacement cost.
Correct.
And does anyone buy insurance at not replacement cost anymore?
There are certain people that do buy actual cash value policies, and oftentimes those will be a property owner where it's not their primary premises, it's a rental property where if they did experience a complete loss there, they might tear it down and move on instead of rebuilding. They would be interested in an actual cash value policy. On your primary home, an actual cash value policy is not something you ever want to procure. You want to be put back whole again should something happen. I'm going to give you just a quick example here. Let's say we have another hailstorm come through. You have replacement cost on your roof at home. You have $10,000 worth of damage with a $1,000 deductible. We're going to write you a check for $10,000 less that deductible. So we're going to give you a check for $9,000 and put you back whole again. That's replacement cost. Actual cash value, we have that same roof. We have $10,000 worth of damage. Let's say we're 15 years through the life cycle of a 30-year roof. The insurance company is now going to write you a check for 50% of that claim because we're halfway through the life cycle. So you're going to see a $5,000 payment less a $1,000 deductible. So a $4,000 payment will be issued on an actual cash value policy, which obviously is not enough to put you back whole again. So that's not something you ever want to do on your primary home.
We were all dealing with hail damage last year, and there was an issue with metal roofs versus asphalt roofs. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oftentimes an insurance company will exclude any cosmetic damage to a metal roof. Some companies you can buy that coverage back by endorsement. Other companies, they just simply do not offer cosmetic damage to a metal roof. The only time a claim would be paid is if that metal roof was penetrated and there was subsequent damage caused because of that. So make sure you check with your agent and your company to make sure you have replacement cost on your home and also cosmetic damage for that metal roof.
Does a metal roof house cost more to insure? I've heard from people that put out fires that it's harder when you have a metal roof to put a fire out in a house because they can't chop through the roof. Sure.
As far as the insurance company is concerned, there's not a big difference in pricing between a metal and a steel roof on the end of the day on your insurance costs.
Okay. And then another question, when you get house insurance, what's covered and not covered, like your belongings? What do you need riders on? Or
oftentimes if you have jewelry, most companies will give you $1,000 or $1,500 for jewelry coverage. So if you have a piece of jewelry that exceeds that, you're going to want to specifically schedule that on there. Also, a lot of your homeowners companies will let you put on your snowmobile, your boat, your ATV on your home policy. So those are things that are above and beyond. Oftentimes, replacement cost on a dwelling, replacement cost on contents, backup of sewer and drain. Those are all coverages that are purchased by endorsement, generally only from the carriers.
So you have to have a good insurance agent that asks you those questions or puts it on your policy.
Absolutely.
Or you need to ask those questions because once you have the damage, it's too late.
We want to make sure coverage is in place before that claim happens. Unfortunately, I had a family of 7 this year lost their home to the tornadoes in June, and when you pull up in their driveway and there's 5 children, a mom and dad, and they're in a bad state, and I can look at them and tell them, don't worry, we have you taken care of. It's a very reassuring feeling to your customer.
Exactly. So Jeff, I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
How long have you been an insurance man?
Just about 23 years or so. It's basically all I've ever done with my adult life. It's something I found a passion for immediately, and something I stuck with because of my passion for helping others.
How long have you been in business by yourself?
Going on 4 years this year. I'll be in business by myself. I've been at it over 20 years as an independent broker.
And when did you buy this awesome building and what did you do to it,
Sure.
renovate it?
I purchased the building, it'll be 2 years ago this upcoming February. It was built in 1921. It was originally a Hudson and Essex car dealership. Has always been something to do with cars in the back of the building. There's been some variety of businesses in the front, such as a beauty salon, a couple different restaurants, an ice cream parlor. Very unique building that has a lot of history to it. Since I purchased the building, I completely started with the roof and went down to the basement with renovations, wiring, electrical. They've never had Wi-Fi in the building before, so that was quite a task. I replaced the roof, had the entire building tuck pointed, and then a complete interior remodel as well to make it suit for our specific needs.
It's really been a great addition to the New London community, this
Well, thank you.
beautiful building
Thank you.
and your service. Well, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for answering all my questions. And if you need an awesome agent in the New London area, Jeff's your guy.
Cornerstone Insurance, 920-250-6464. Have a great year. Thanks.